Yep. You see my screen now?
See part of your screen. if you select mirroring rather than yeah, there you go. No, you see it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. There you go. The only thing. Okay. Let's go here.
Fast preview.
Yeah, you got a a preview before the. All right. Apologies for that, guys.
There you go.
So I was asked to speak about some feature from Snowflake, and I think what's best to talk about today. And we have a new feature called DBT projects on Snowflake. It's something we added just, it was announced on the last summit, so a couple of months ago. And what is it? It's a way for you to bring DBT near your data. If you have data already on Snowflake, already governed within Snowflake, it's a way for you to bring DBT, the open source DBT core, bring it running within the same secure environment as your data. So let me see. So why did we do it? A lot of customers say, hey, I have a lot of new teams and teaching them 5 million tools, how to use Git, how to use this. Maybe we're doing orchestration using Airflow, things like that. It takes a lot of effort. So for those customers, it's very easy to onboard onto DBT on Snowflake. Also very easy to debug. It's one system. You're using DBT within Snowflake, you're running your DBT jobs within your Snowflake warehouses. So yeah, it's all within one system. So I don't know if I have to introduce guys to what DBT is, but yeah, that's it. So DBT projects on Snowflake, self-service. You just go and say, I want to create a project on Snowflake. You don't need IT, you don't need any of that. You just, I need it, and you can start using it. Observable, you can debug it, run it, all of that within Snowflake UI. One UI to rule them all. Governed, so the same user access that you already have to access your data is the same one you're using to run jobs on your data. So you don't have to have access on a new system, all of that. And managed, as I mentioned already, it runs within the managed Snowflake environment. So what does it allow you to do? Pretty much everything you can do with GPT Core. You run your builds, you test it, you deploy it, you can schedule it. So as this is DBT Core, you need some kind of scheduler, but on Snowflake, you can just use our UI or commands to create tasks, schedule it to run whenever, and then it will automatically run for you. You don't have to provision any hardware or any platform to run it. So how does it work? It all is available on the UI. You can either say create new DBT project, or if you already have a repository on Git, you can just plug in your repository URL, say how you're accessing it with tokens, or maybe it's a public URL, public GitHub. And what it is, it's a database level, a schema object. So when you say create table, create view, create materialize view, in the information schema of Snowflake, you're creating an object. And this is a new type of object that's now available. So you're selecting where you're having your secrets, and you create a nice little DBT project. And you see here, you will see your DBT project folders, your models, your tests, your everything is there. You can see it here easier. And you can have, so there are two panes here. The top pane is your project. The lower pane is the databases where you have access to. So those will be your sources and targets. And your prod, your raw. And what you see here is you can select multiple projects. So if you're creating projects, you'll be creating them from the UI or from the command line. You can select the project that you want to work with. In your project, you will have a dev profile, a test profile, a prod profile. You can select them from the UI itself. And then you can run, so we have in our UI the most used commands. So for example, you change something and you want to compile it, you can do it, you just select compile, run. I'll show you all of this in the actual UI in a bit. So you select project, and once you compile it, two things happen. You will see the compile SQL, so we'll replace the placeholders with the actual table names, depending on the profile you have selected. So for dev, it's going to be dev, whatever. And then you can compare them. You see it says, if you compiled SQL, it will be open side by side with your model, and then you can compare. Or you can click show in DAG, which will show you that model that you have open, where does it sit in your DAG. So, and that's what you see here. Yeah, I mentioned you can choose a target environment, you can run tests, deps. So yeah, maybe I should mention about deps. If are using any Python utils or something, and you need to import them, you would have to run deps first, and it will bring it in. And you see there's a folder here, dbt packages, that gets brought in when you say deps run. I don't know, do you guys use a lot of dependencies within your dbt projects? A lot? Oh, so yeah, then you'll like that it's able to do that. If your environment is secure, you'll have to set up rules for accessing the dbt, get dbt, and all of that for it to be able to go to outside world. So, like in my own test, I had to do that. So there's your graph. We have the orders model, and we can see it comes from raw, and it's coming from menu. And as I said, you can schedule it within our UI. So you give the schedule a name, and you can either do it this way, I'll show you in the UI, or you can give it a cron tab type of schedule, and you specify it. It just will run. And behind the scene, what it does, it uses the Snowflake Tasks, which we already have. So it will create a task behind the scene, and that task will run on time. And it will figure out, the order of execution for the DAG. And once you do that and it runs, we also have traceability. So you're able to go to monitor your task or your job and see what it actually did with the time. So hey, we run 16 models. This one took that much. You get the query IDs. You are able to see your DBT logs in here. You can see the memory used by the DBT thing. There's a lot of data that you get to see. So let me bring this tab to you guys here. I don't know if you can see it. All right. Doesn't want to go? I'll probably share just that tab. 1 second. Let's use the real mouse. Apologies. Displays. Apologies, guys. It was working before, but on the demo, I'll just say.
My bad for changing the screen share.
Now when the screen changed, it became not extended anymore, and then.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. But now I don't see it in here, but that's fine. So let me walk you guys through what it is. There you go. Have you guys seen the Workspaces UI on Snowflake? For those that didn't see it, it's you can see it as a in-browser editor, IDE. You can edit your YAML files directly here, your Python code, your Snowflake SQL code, all of that. So how you do it? You can say add new. So I'm now on here, and I can say add new, and I can see DBT project, and then I would have to fill in this information. Or in here, I can create a workspace from a Git repository. That's what you saw in the screenshot there. And then you have to put that and select API integration for it. I already did that, so I already pulled in this tasty bytes demo. By the way, I'll show you guys a How am I good with time? Good. So I'll show you guys a little QR code in the end. It has the code for all of this. And especially there's a setup folder that will set up the whole environment where you create the tables and everything. So you have, like, as you see, we ran already before deps, which created the dbt packages. It's in here. I can see what's in it. I have my models, my everything that you guys know, like, for example, my profile. As you see here, this is not needed. This is actually quite interesting because normally you would have to specify your username. But as this is running within Snowflake, you could actually keep it empty. In this example, they have not needed. But it's already running with you just specify which role you want to use, which database you want to use. And for the dev, we are using the dev schema. For prod, we are using the prod schema. That's about it. So this is how Snowflake knows this is a dbt project. It looks for a folder that has the dbt project in it. And in here, you can see how we are materializing. And you will see that in the Objects Explorer, we have a lot of databases, and I have a tasty bytes database. We have a lot of databases. This is a test environment. So it's like millions of database objects. Whenever some customer opens a case, my colleagues create the objects here. And then you can see these are the raw tables that got filled. You can see it from here. So as I mentioned, you can run deps. Let me show you actually. Let's just rerun it. So now we selected the dev environment. We're selecting the command deps, and we can run it. And you'll see actually what it does here. So it's running the deps command for you. Let me grow it. And you can see the log, the dbt log, actually, like what I did before when I was testing. Let's see. So let me mention, so now it's running, you can also then select dep, or instead of dep, select run, and then it will run your project. And what you do is here's where you create it. So you're connected to this project here with your database. You can deploy it. So if I make changes, I can deploy it. Let me also show you something. This is a bit not organized, but I will jump back to that. Because you got data from Git, and this is an IDE, you can modify things, and you can push it back. This is a public Git repository. I don't have access to push stuff to it, but I can put a commit message here and push it directly from here, right? I can repull every time. I can select if people created a new branch and I'm interested only in that one, I can select that one, or push to a test branch first, things like that. You can do all of that directly. All I have to do is click on the changes to get to the Git section, and I can go back to my files and just see the files here. So anyway, this finished, and it creates a package log. So now we are running with the same version of the packages. Yeah, so here is where you create your schedules. So, yeah. So you can schedule it to run hourly or whatever. Custom is where you would provide a cron tab format. And when it runs, if you see here under monitoring, you have dynamic tables, tasks, and stuff, but now you have a new object called dbt projects, and you click that, and then you can see your runs. And I had one failed because one colleague put a resource monitor on my warehouse. And yeah, so you can see which jobs failed, which jobs succeeded, things like that. Let me go back to the editor. I'm trying to show you how you can view schedules. So you can see that there is a schedule running every 15 minutes. Maybe that's why my resource monitor also was depleted, because, and yeah, and you can click view details and you go to that task. So as I mentioned, there is a task behind that's doing the scheduling part. And you can click run history for it, you can graph it, you can see this job succeeded before, but now it failed, things like that. Yeah, you can see the definition of the task. which also means you don't need to use the UI to do this. You can issue these commands. So if you have another automation that you want to use that creates these, you don't have to do this from UI. Yeah. So you can just schedule stuff to run directly on Snowflake, directly from some. Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. Let me go back to just, let's just click run. Let's run this project. Run. And I'll write on the dev environment. And what it does, it just uses the warehouse that I selected in my project, and it's gonna run it. And it runs as Snowflake jobs, which means if it fails, query ID, it's the same way you're monitoring your jobs. And those jobs will also appear in the Snowflake logs. We have these, it's pretty much a data warehouse. We call it account usage, where you have all information about account information you have. So query history, who logged in when, who selected from which tables, everything is there. So by this being integrated there, you have everything in one place. So yeah, did I show you the DAG? Yeah, so this is your DAG. And that's pretty much all I had. Let me just go back to my demo, to my presentation.
Yeah, I'm sure we have a bunch of questions.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Thank you so much, Hassan.
One second, let me just share a couple of slides.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry for that. So this is what I did. I use, in my example, I want to show you this. So I told you there's a Git repository that you can, a GitHub repository that you can pick up this data from. It's using the Tasty Bytes data set. It's like a, I don't know, like an online restaurant with on wheels. So these like, and this is their data model. You have raw, staging, and 3 marks, orders, customer loyalty, and stuff like that. And there are a couple of links. If you guys are interested, you can take a picture that shows this. But so let me just mention this because it's quite important. There's dbt. You can have the dbt platform, you're running it, you're successful with it. You have a lot of external data that you're bringing from different systems. That's not what we're targeting. What Snowflake is targeting here is ELT. So data is extracted, loaded into Snowflake. It's already there. Oh, sorry. And you need to process that data further, right? So you need to do the T part. That's where we are targeting this. You have DBT Core if you're using it yourself successfully with whatever, your own orchestration engine, great. Or you can use the DBT platform if you have external sources. So just to put you in the right mindset where we are trying to position this. So yeah, there are some questions from engineering, but I think I'll skip it. But this is the one I wanted you guys to scan if you are interested. So it's a complete setup. It's a project with a setup folder. You go into the setup folder, there's a SQL file. You run it, it will create all your tables, objects, and it has a copy into from S3 where the data resides. So you will have exactly the same demo as I have, and you can play around with it. And well, last two slides is we also have our own Snowflake user group. So if you guys didn't know about that, please go to usergroups.snowflake.com. And by the way, July the 15th, there's the next Snowflake user group, so you can register for that. And they will be talking about dbt, which is awesome. Right, so.
Thank you very much, Hassan.
Thank you.
Very good. We have time for a few questions, but I first wanted to sort of say that it's an impressive sort of set of functionality at the top of Snowflake, making it quite a compelling whole platform rather than just a data warehouse. And I remember us messing about with Snowpark and that sort of stuff over the last year, but this is infinitely better. My first question was actually going to be around when should you really consider this rather than the sort of standard dbt core or even dbt cloud to Fusion and so on. Can you maybe just say it again, because I think it's a primary takeaway.
Sure. Yeah, we're not trying to like enforce a way of usage or pattern on our customers. So we are trying to be there where the customers are. We do believe that you should bring the execution next to where the data resides. That's our philosophy. So if the data is already on Snowflake, you're collecting your data there, it makes total sense to bring the dbt model to run next to it, using the same governance, using the same security measures that you already have on your data. So as I mentioned earlier, if you have data on Snowflake, great, use this. You want to bring data from external sources, this will not be the right tool for you, right? And for that, you can use the dbt platform, or you can use dbt core, and yeah, host that on your own. We also have our own tools for getting data from external. I don't know if you guys heard about the acquisition of Datavolo. We have OpenFlow, which generates for you NiFi jobs using AI. So it's pretty awesome. So that one, it has like, by using that, you have all the connectivity options that NiFi has, right? And you can just say, you very easily create jobs to bring data easily into Snowflake. So we have multiple tools, but whatever you guys want to use.